some good veins in our needles today or some shit like that. The surgeon says this right before he puts me under or some shit like that. And I was like, you and all the junkies in Skid Row share the same feelings. Fucking crickets. I was like, all right, put me to sit, get this shit over with. All right, that's it. I'm over here trying to make light of situations. Y'all mad serious. I'm like, y'all gotta put some of that anesthesia in your fucking face, bro. Just a fucking, you know what I mean? Fucking two Nas balloons of that shit, bro. Cause y'all got me fucked up over here, not laughing and shit.
Mad Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now. While the angels fly over my headstone.
We are back with another episode of the God's Hour podcast, dog. With your boy Big Sir Bavelli back in the motherfucking place to be. La Merca Superior, Palace 81 Studios. We are live in effect, live and direct. It's your boy, Mr. Nine Times and Presley. Would you like to say anything to the audience? God damn, son. Hey, then say it, don't lick it, son. Pause. Alright? What? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Please clarify. Oh my God. Wait. You gotta stop. You gotta stop that nonsense. Okay. Yeah, man. So my face is still fucked up. In the last episode I did with Migs, my shit was looking like Quagmire. My shit was like all fucking fat. I looked like somewhere between Quagmire, the Crimson Chin, and Peter Griffin. Hey, you got hop, son? Even in your old age, you could still hop a fence. How, buddy? We had to run away from the yips. Huh, buddy? That's right. That's my boy right there. I'm fucking love yous until the fucking ends of time. You didn't even know. But you know I'm fucking love you until the ends of the earth, and the earth ain't even got ends to them. Buddy, you understand? Huh? Huh? Don't do that. That freaks me out when you do shit like that. So yeah, my face is it still hurts. They gave me like Norco and shit, which I didn't know was an opioid. No wonder I would pop like 6 opiates or 6 like Norcos and drink like 6 packs. But basically when I would pop pills, it started because I hurt my leg playing with my niece on some like fake ass little, what are them things, like zip lines, but you gotta go on a platform. The platform I want to say like was at least 3 feet above the ground, right? Was just like 3 feet in the air. And I wanted to take a picture of her, and it's real fucking small. Like really 2 people shouldn't be on it. What I should have done was had my niece on top of it, the platform, and take a picture of her from there. But no, my dumb ass is on top of there with her. There's barely any room. So when I stepped off of the platform, but it wasn't like high enough to where like I could have, well, you could still fall awkward, but I fell right on my leg, but I fell on my leg awkward. So right then and there, I knew I fucked up. And from then on, I went and drank like, well, first of all, we left like, I think we left right after I let my niece like play for a little bit. We should have went to the hospital right away, but I don't think they did shit. There was no fractures or anything like that. So I guess the doctor gave me muscle relaxers and codeine pills. That was it. I don't think I got any X-rays, but Holmes just gave me like two pills and then two different pills and just like smoking weed and shit. I couldn't score every day. So, and I didn't have the money cause I didn't have a job when I was going to college. So I would get high off the pills. And I don't remember how I would do it. And as a matter of fact, I feel like I would wake up, pop the pills, and then drive to school. And then I think they would hit me at school. And I don't really remember much because we're easily talking almost 10 years ago when I was in college. So, or almost 10 years ago, yeah. So all I remember was I got hurt right before my finals. And I want to say this is when I was a freshman. And I wasn't good at math and shit, you know what I mean? Even though it was basic, I was doing elementary algebra, which makes it sound like you fucking flunked grade school, you know what I mean? It looked like you barely made it through fucking middle school, which is fucking bullshit, but whatever, right? I tested low in math. English, I was good though. English, obviously, I smoked that shit, but I don't know if it was the SATs or whatever shits that determine where you're placed in college. But for the test, I know for math, they were like, yeah, homie, I think I had to take two classes to barely start getting into the where you barely start. Like to get to square one, I had to take two classes just to hit that. And I think I barely did those two and I passed or some shit like that. But I did feel like an idiot because what the fuck? Why did I grab this? Because I feel like, great, I hope that didn't fuck anything up. I just dropped my water on my fucking audio interface. So if you don't know what that is, that basically controls the whole fucking sound of the God's Hour. So, yeah, I didn't like college. I never liked school. I just always like getting faded and, I remember there was like one girl that was really interested in me. And, like with any girl that like shows like interest in me, I find a good way to kind of like fumble that in some sort of way. Not that I fumble it all the time, but it's just a lot of girls have like interest in me, and for whatever reason, it just doesn't click. So it's not even that. I wish I could say I'm real picky with girls, but I guess indirectly I am, because with some chicks, I feel like I've turned them off because of some of the maybe immature shit or behavior that I have. But I always feel like, bro, like if you couldn't handle that at that point, you couldn't handle shit that was gonna go on. Because, we're talking like 2017. This is right after Raul and Ian, they had passed away 2 years. Like, that shit still fucks with me now, And then Josh was going to kill himself a year later. So it was like, that's why I feel like a lot of what people value, and just like a lot of what people do shit for or how they behave, it just boggles my mind, because it's like, you would never have like survived this shit that I had. Like, Danny Brown said, my nigga, you ain't been what I've been through, and if so, you would take a pencil through your temple or some shit like that, right? Pencil through your mental, pencil through your, some shit like that. Basically, like, yeah, bro, like, I mean, y'all heard some of my songs. I mean, obviously, it's not no big secret. Like I just that's with the music, the whole music shit, the whole reason why I even fell in love with music in the first place, because it was like a creative outlet that I could get a lot of my trauma, my anger towards. Um, even before Raul and Ian passed away, I still feel like I was a real depressive kind of kid in high school, because I started rapping in high school. And some of my biggest influences were people that were on like the same shit, on like mental health, like Kendrick Lamar, To Pimp a Butterfly, Atrocity Exhibition, Danny Brown, Triple X, The Loopers, Amy Winehouse. Like, so like a lot of what the fuck I listened to. I had a whole notebook where I listed like all my influences. 2015, okay, then we're still talking about like Earl Sweatshirt. But I feel like that album didn't come out till later that year. So, right? I don't remember. But yeah, just that was when I was like getting out of my Odd Future phase, and basically my first song I ever wrote was like about this girl that I liked, and she didn't like me at all. I was doing everything I could to kind of like court her, but she only saw me as like a brother, which fucking I never saw that. I kind of always thought that it was leading to somewhere, but it wasn't leading to nowhere like that. Like had I just been like with like a more like, if I had like an outsider's, like if I were to see my life, right, and I were to see that now, like knowing what I know now and shit, I'd be like, bro, you have like no chance with this chick, you know what I mean? Like she really, like, you're not even her type. Like look at the dude she likes, bro. You're not her, like you're not it, bro. So that's why I feel like a lot of my love songs and shit, that's like really my pocket, because I could really do a solid job of writing a real good song about like pain, heartbreak, romance, love, just like expressive vulnerability in the music. I feel like that's more my pocket. That's why I want to lean towards like more like R&B and shit. I know I rap about all this, other shit, which is cool. Wordplay, guns, money, and shoes and shit. But I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like I mean, me and Nancy have we've talked about this shit already, where it's like, I just don't want nobody being like, okay, well, like, we've squeezed all the juice out of this orange, dog. Pause. What else can you offer to me that I haven't heard? Okay, we get it. You got guns, money, you're fly. And I do bring my personal life into that. So that's why I'm very cognizant of like every album. Okay, I'm going to speak on this, how I felt about this, and maybe not reinvent the wheel, but like I'm gonna give you a different perspective, because a lot of the songs are kind of like in them chambers, but I just try to give you like a different view on it. Like the 340 series, it started with 342. 342 was never intended to be like a saga. It was just something that I kind of ran with, but it started because there was a time, and it goes back to that one girl back in high school when I first started making, like the first song I ever rapped about was like a love letter to her, But I don't even think, and she was like fucking naive too, where she didn't even see like that I was like and enamored with her until like years later, What is it? So I would cry about this girl and be all up in my feelings about her, all this bullshit. And I would wake up around like 342, 343, 344. So I think that's where the series comes from. It don't come from because, people might think it's like the time I was born or some shit like that. I think at 342 that would put me at like a, I don't know, like a Aries rising or some shit like that, right? Something like this. That's not me. I'm not gonna publicly reveal any of my astrological shits. I don't need any of them Cuban girls with the crazy fat pussies to put no hexes on me based on the time I was born. But I'm all over the place now, so I'm gonna just keep talking about kind of like college but yeah, 342 was produced by Nelonius. I had that sample, but I kind of like lost it. I don't think I'd ever touch it again though, because like it was like one of those one and done things. And then 343, fuck, which one was that one? 343 I want to say was on the 1-2 album. I basically just took a bunch of his beats and I made an album called A Love Superior. And then he ended up doing a whole album with Westside Gun. Conway the Machine. I was like, great, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of shits where I feel like I contributed or inspired people in the culture to do, and I'm like, great. Like, I feel like I'm the muse or the catalyst or the idea that sparks a lot of this shit. But maybe, I don't know, a 1-2 Conway the Machine album has always made sense from the lo-fi boom bap shit, because 1-2 was always on that, but I always looked at him as a lo-fi producer, not a Griselda type sound. But the Griselda sound kind of runs parallel with the lo-fi shit that was going on that exploded around 2015. And I want to say it peaked around 2017, like that. In them 2 years, I feel like we had some of the most prolific lo-fi producers like Swam, 1-2, Flo Fils, Ginseng, Steezy as fuck. I would dig the shit, like dig out of his YouTube channel, and that's how we made like Picasso and Matisse, a lot of them shits, and a lot of other stuff. There's a lot of great lo-fi producers out there, but off the top, I want to say the pioneers, in my opinion, there's a grip of them out there. In my opinion, I'll say like Swum, Beside You, Ginseng, 1-2, and Tampa Beats. There's a way more that I could name, but just off the top of my head, those were some of the most fire lo-fi produced. But like also too, like the lo-fi sound was also kind of came out of like the low end theory from the early 2000s, or like kind of like the 2010s, maybe early 2000s. I don't know the timeline, but that school of like John Wayne, Sam I Am, Knowledge, Flying Lotus. He kind of like was in that era. So just going back to like love and shit like that. It's just interesting to me because now I was looking at this because like self-evaluation is the most humble tool you can ever do in your life. So I've been, because of my wisdom teeth and shit, my sleep is all like fucked up. Like I take naps in the daytime, and I'm trying to get back to my normal work schedule, because I'm probably gonna go back to work next week. I really don't feel like going back to work in 2 days, because I have tomorrow off. But if I feel exactly like this tomorrow, I'm gonna just run it till next week, because there's no fucking way. I had a chewy chocolate chip cookie. Say that 5 fucking times in a row. And my wisdom teeth, where they were, them shit started hurting, and I was like, great, I only had 3 of these little cookies, and they want you to have soft food, so I've been just basically drinking protein shakes, milkshakes. I had a raw juice, finally broke it up. That shit was some of the most fire shits I ever had. Like, it tasted so fucking wonderful. Pause. And with women, yeah, like, I'm like, you know what? I could have had mad girlfriends, and beautiful girls too. Like, there's only been one girl that I felt like was ugly that was really like attracted to me and pursued me. but she was getting a stiff arm either way. And I feel like that's where a lot of my karma might be coming from, because back in like the first grade. Well, okay, so I like this girl. It's like Italian. I think she was Italian. Name was like Katerina or some shit like that. We were like in elementary school. Then in first grade, I like this girl. I won't say her name because people are probably gonna watch this pot. Well, people are gonna know, right? As soon as I start describing shit. She was more so of like a tomboy, kind of. She was definitely a tomboy in middle school, but I didn't really. At that point, okay. So look, we were in every class together because like for us in elementary school, they kept you with your same class. Like only one or two people like went out. But like for the first 5 years, I was with the same group of kids. I don't know why they do that, because in middle school they're like, all right, you fucking find someone. I think that's just because like just to kind of like socialize you with like kind of have the same group of friends. But I moved around too much. Like I know homies that they married, had kids, or at least had a girlfriend with the girl that they liked since like elementary school, preschool, or whatever, like the beginning. That was never my situation. I went to like a Lutheran private school. That's a private school, kind of. But I was only like in preschool and elementary school, and then in the summer schools I was there. Fuck, I didn't even know I was going to talk about my whole life in this fucking podcast. I might have to spin the block and say... So I guess we're talking about the life of Serbs right now, but I'm just going to hold everything. Quick drip check. We got the Great Fives. These are so fucking comfortable. Shout out to Will Smith. I feel you, dog. I hope you're getting better out there. These are super comfortable. They're the most comfortable Jordans I've ever worn. The 8s are coming out. I don't know if I'm going to cop those because I ran my credit silly and I really need to stop buying sneakers, right? I'm going to sell my extra pair of Great Fives to Slick. And if he don't buy them, I'm still gonna flip them. I'm still gonna flip them. I returned my second pair of Pure Money 3s just because when they yellow, they look nasty as fuck. So that'll put my credit down some. These are some new shorts that oh, this is some new gear, by the way. Check this out right here. Got the Imperial. This is a new design. And I actually drew this. This is an eye and they're interconnecting eyes. It looks like a snowflake with a sunflower in the middle. If anybody copies my shit, I'm going to find out where you at and I'm going to skin your motherfucking ass, bitch. Yeah. So y'all already know I wear, White Sox fitted and Columbia sunglasses, right? I'm fucking hot. It was 100 degrees. It was like 98, but it felt like 105. You know what I mean? In Cali, it don't ever feel like... It'll be like, you'll be like, damn, dog, it feel like 100 out here, and it'd be like 92. You're like, okay, well, suck my dick. Fucking weather report. So shout out to Migs. Okay, so I forgot where I was, right? But this girl, I liked her. She did not like me at all. I don't think she liked anybody in any of our classes that we were... Anybody in our class. I just think that she just wasn't attractive. Maybe she was... I can't even say she was attractive to girls, dog. She kind of like... She was very sports inclined, and I'm really giving away who the fuck this is. She was in soccer, heavy into sports, tomboyish. I think it's because she had an older brother who she looked up to and was very close with. So that's what it was, you know what I mean? My sister was kind of not in that, but like my sister was more on the masculine shit. Not like she dressed like a dude or anything like that. Like, my sister's, beautiful, and she was very feminine too, and really got with the feminine shit. But because she was because she's a super Aries, Oh yeah, any fire makes a woman very masculine, and I really don't like women that have heavy fire in their chart. You know, at the most we could be friends or acquaintances, but as far as like lovers and all that shit, nah. You know, I've known a lot of women that got like the sun, like that's it. They just have the sun and like Leo or whatever, but they have everything else that brings them down, like either earth or like water aspects, so it kind of balances that masculine shit. So yeah, so this girl, she never liked me, and then like in second grade there was this other girl that really liked me, but I thought she was ugly as fuck. But I'd be a dick to her because that girl would be a dick to me. Like I would try to like shimmy yah that shit with her, and she would be like, fucking nobody likes you, or fucking I'd be like the ass end of a lot of her jokes. And I feel like that's why I have a strong, I really could care less about how women, like I could really give a okay, I gotta be real careful about this. I could really care less about how a woman perceives me or their opinion about me, because as a kid I remember this girl just like being an asshole to me, you know, like no one likes you or fuck. I remember, I'll never forget this, when it became 2008. I remember I got this from like a radio station, like Big Boy's Neighborhood. But I said some shit like, it ain't 2000. In my book, it ain't 2008. It's 2000 great. And bro, I thought like fucking everybody was gonna be like, oh shit, like 2000 great, suck my dick, bitch. You know what I mean? But literally, I'm like, yeah, in my book, it's 2000 great. She goes, no one cares about your stupid book, Serbs. And I was like, what? In my mind, right? But like, I had to just be subjugated to like bullshit from women. I feel like a lot of my life, you know what I mean? Especially from women that I really had deep feelings for. And this goes back to the self-reflection. This is like, that's why I kind of like, I'm kind of numb. That's how I feel. I kind of feel like a lot of women, I don't know how to explain it, man. It's just tough to explain because I love women and I love talking to women and stuff like that, but I've just seen women just turn around, just flip so easy on me, you know, for little bullshit. And I'm like, okay, well now you're going to have to work to get me, because I'm the fucking prize. I'm the breadwinner. I'm the alpha, and you ain't going to run shit. I promise you, you're not going to do shit. You ain't going to do shit in my life but fucking make me a sandwich and suck my dick. You get what I mean? I don't mean to say it like that, but I feel like that's just the wounds in me. Shit, man. I it's just hard because the women that are more detached, I like them more because I feel like it's more of a challenge. It's more of a chase. The women that freely give themselves to me is like, oh man, like you too easy, man. Like fuck out of here. Like I could probably count on three hands, like all the women that have like liked me or pursued me or had any like attractive interest in me, and I was just like, nah, like I'm cool. You know, I just like, you know, I've talked to girls, I've dated girls, and I just, for whatever reason, it don't click with me. You know, it just, I think I'm more afraid of like being in a relationship that doesn't work than anything else. The homie, I'm not going to say who he is a real good homie of mine, but oh man, he told me some heartbreaking shit where he was with his girl for like years, like mad years, you know, like 5 or something. Whenever you're with a girl for like 5 years, that's tough, bro. Cause I talked to a girl for like a year and I feel like I invested my whole life into this bitch, you know what I mean? But he was saying some shit he was with her and he was like, I feel alone, you know what I mean? And she was like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm right here. Like, you know, and he was like, I know, but I just feel alone. And that's what I feel like I'm afraid of, is just getting with a girl, having a family with the wrong chick, and kind of like settling for less, you know? This is a fucking crazy podcast, bro. I didn't even expect myself. I didn't even want to talk about none of this shit. What were we talking about with the college shit? And how did it go to them telling my whole life story and love and all this shit? But yeah, like, man, that's fucking crazy, bruh. So yeah, I'm just not gonna. I'm not gonna like settle for less. Like, but now like I feel like I'm coming at it with a more mature angle, and I could see the signs and shit like that. You know, oh, like this chick likes me, she don't like me. Let me pursue that. Let me not pursue that. You know what I mean? And I have more of a clearer mind because I wasn't able to discern that as a younger kid. I wasn't able to be like, okay, this girl don't like me, so I should stop wasting my time. Or this girl does like me and I should pursue that, you know? And but then there's also that shit in between where it's like, nah, this ain't gonna work out, or this bitch is fucking dumb, or you know what I mean? Like, it's just, love is, like I say, man, love is love, and I don't expect it to be anything less than that. So I just try to like take it for what it is and not for what I think it should be in my mind. Because I done seen bitches go back to the same dude that cheated on them or anything like that, or they get married, you know, they let themselves be tied down, and you know that's settling for less than me, because it's like, I already know, like, that's not really you, bro. Like, you don't really want to be tied down with this man because you love him. You want to be tied down because he offers you security and you have like all this other shit going on, and you're meant there that it serves you. You don't really love this guy. You like the fact that he's subservient to you. You know, you see him more of a fucking as a toy and not as a man. I'm not ever gonna let no woman treat me less than an alpha male man, bruh. Cause that's what the fuck I am. The bitches out here that they play around and then they can fuck off with that shit, bruh. And that's what I always think. Like, I never lose faith, bro, because I know that God, like I said, God got me the perfect one. Because every time I try to move on, it's a dud. It's the slugs that scar in my mental, physical, spiritual, virtual reality. Crime don't pay credit over salary. You know? It's funny because people, they love my music, but they don't get it. Like, they don't. It's fine. It's cool. It's all right. It's all good. You know? Yeah, man, I damn near almost fucking cried on this podcast, bro. Just talking about my life. But that's where I was. Like, I was just like, what was it? I think the day I got surgery, or yeah, the day I got my wisdom teeth taken out and shit, I didn't go to sleep till like 7 a.m. I was up and I literally heard my pops wake up, alarm clock go off. He took a shower. I heard him get dressed and then leave for work. And then I heard my mom get up, go downstairs and start watching TV. Like, I literally watched the sun go up and fucking down. Like, yeah, right? Like, up, down, and up again. You know, on that day, I got like 2 hours of sleep. This was Monday, so it's Thursday now. So it was Monday. No, that was Tuesday. So Monday, I woke up, I got the operation done, and I'm like trying to make jokes and shit, but these doctors ain't really rocking with my jokes. You know, like they're not laughing at none of my shit, where I'm like, all right, y'all fucking boring as fuck. But the doctor, when they put the IV on my arm, and I was scared as fuck to have this surgery done on my wisdom teeth, but they told me, they're like, dog, like if you don't get to take care of this shit now, because my teeth don't hurt or none of that shit, like I'm cool. But for years the doctor's been like, dog, like I would check your wisdom teeth and shit like that. I'd be like, whoa, you got to do the knowledge on the wisdom to understand. Now I ain't gonna do none of this shit, bruh. You understand? So shut the fuck up about it. But they did it. They talked about it enough times to where I got referred. I went to the surgeon, and the surgeon was like, yo, check this out. If you don't do it now, it's gonna hurt worse later. So the fucking I did what they recommended. The bottom two shits, the fucking R17 and R50 fucking 2 or whatever they call them in dentist school. I hope y'all who are studying, geology are out there. I salute y'all. So I'm trying to make light of the situation because I'm nervous as fuck. They check my blood pressure, my vitals, all that shit. I'm in the chair. They put some bullshit ass like, Korean food, like the street food, or like they make like 1,000 burgers for the day and all that shit. Like me and my pops will watch that shit heavy. We're some fucking fat asses with that shit too. But I'm watching that shit and they're like, is there any music you would like to listen to? And I said, yeah, I put on some Astrud Gilberto out this motherfucker, and they put it on. They never heard of that shit, obviously, the uncultured fucks. And I had I didn't drink any water, coffee. I literally fasted for the first time in my life. I fasted for, I'll say, well, after that, I didn't drink water till like 12:30. So I really fasted from 11 to 12:30. So like a 13 and a half hour fast just purely on nothing. That was crazy as fuck. And so they couldn't find my vein, so I had to squeeze my arm, and they put the strap around my shit. And I think this was, I don't remember, because I after the surgery, man, I was high as fuck, bro. But I wasn't high in that like I was incoherent. I was high in that like I felt like drunk, but like pill drunk, very different. Like I feel like on pills, I'd be more coherent than if I was fucked up smoking weed or drinking, because those like have like psychoactive. I didn't feel any psychoactive effects on my brain. I just felt like mad woozy and shit, like fucking like half a fucking dumb fuck, But when they poked me and they put the needle in my arm, I was like, oh, I was like, I fucking hate needles. I was like, bro, you better put me under fucking right now, bro. I'm gonna fucking shake somebody, dog. And fucking, yeah, they put the oxygen thing on me, like, fucking, and I was right there, and I went to sleep in like probably like 2 minutes. You good? Would you like to say anything before I go any further? I appreciate your 2 cents. So, he's like, yeah, you got a good vein. We've been getting some good veins in our needles today, or some shit like that. The surgeon says this right before he puts me under or some shit like that. And I was like, you and all the junkies in Skid Row share the same feelings. Fucking crickets. I was like, all right, put me to get this shit over with. All right, that's it. I'm over here trying to make light of situations. Y'all mad serious. I'm like, y'all gotta put some of that anesthesia in your fucking face, bro. Just a fucking, you know what I mean? Fucking two Nas balloons of that shit, bro. Cause y'all got me fucked up over here, not laughing and shit. So yeah, then the wisdom teeth shit is bullshit. I just been drinking milkshakes and shit, and I hate it. I can't wait to. I want to eat chicken wings. That's the first thing I want to do and eat. Doc said I'll be clear on Monday. Like, just thinking about it now, I'll probably just. I was up for overtime, like for Saturday and Sunday. Like, it goes by rotation, and I'd be getting it at least for Saturday. I don't know about Sunday. But I'm kind of bummed out. But you know what? Like, fuck it. Like, if I have to take a whole week off of work, I have the time. I just hit my 1 year for my job. Everybody, clap your hands for your boy. That's right, dog. That's right, because all you fucking dick suckers out there that prayed on my downfall, that fucking trying to make your fucking dumb fuck power moves to get me the fuck out of here, I tell Levi's they could suck my dick, get the fuck out my face, cause I don't need them. Y'all fucked up, bruh. Well, you know what I said when I passed probation? I was in. You know what I said? The first thing I said, let the games begin. Cause there's gonna be a lot of motherfuckers that's gonna get their calentados, dog, and you better bet your ass you're gonna get that shit later rather than sooner. So, who's this? All right. So yeah, that's where I'm at in my life right now. Just kind of, this is literally not what I wanted to talk about on the podcast, but it's good, man. A lot of self-reflection, a lot of self-evaluating shit, man. I'm on my Jim Jones shit right now, bro. Just and the fact that I'm self-reflecting, you know what I mean? Shout out to Migs. He gave me this Loop Scholars Deluxe CD. I'll be bumping it probably tonight when I get in my car and do some shit, because I'm tired of being cooped up like a fucking chicken out here, bruh. I forgot to say today's math. Oh shit, my computer's gonna die. Today's math is knowledge and cipher, all being born to knowledge. So what that means is you need to introduce the knowledge into your cipher. Cipher means person, place, or thing. But let's just say today we're going to talk about life, because we talked a lot about life and how life is great. So whenever we do the knowledge in our life, that directly affects the positive and the necessary knowledge that we're going to get out of life. You bring knowledge in your life, and knowledge brings you bring knowledge in your life, and life brings the knowledge back to you. That's how you learn, bruh. You understand me? So never forget that shit. Don't be too cool to be like, oh, well, yeah, I know all this shit. No, you don't know shit, bruh. You really don't. MF Doom. The more you think you know, the more you know you don't know shit, bruh. So just be very cognizant that life is going to teach your ass a lot, bro. Whether you learn the hard way or the easy way, pause. But, peace. Should we do an album review? Hold on. Who texted me, dog? Who the fuck is this? Paging me at 5:46 in the morning, crack of dawn, and now I'm yawning. Wipe the cold out my eyes. See who's this paging me and why. Let me see. Okay. Clipse. Hell hath no fury. Clipse comes back for another Grand Slam sophomore album. This is a more raw, bitter, stripped down sound compared to the debut, offering less commercial grand production from the Neptunes to more bare, minimal production that combines perfectly with the voice of Push and Malice. The Neptunes did the opposite with this album, creating a darker, sparse, experimental sound to give a breath of fresh air into this incredible album. It took me a few listens to really understand what they did. They took a leap of faith of leaving their trademark debut production, and that gave us legendary classics like Mr. Meek 2, a gritty track that sounds like a Virginia Beach stick-up mission, Wamp Wamp, a booming beat, and a dope feature from Slim Thug that's just perfect. The cautionary tales of pushing cocaine through its ups and downs really hammers the point home. This is entertainment, but it really happened. Again, bouncy pop tunes and ghetto hood classics gel this album together like pomade to hair. Right Around Shining has a glittery harp-like progression that sounds like a snowy blizzard that's dressed behind the vocal sound bites. I had a lot more shit for this album review, but it's just banging, like Mr. Me Too, Right Around Shining, Ain't Ya, Chinese New Year. I mean, they went dumb fuck with it, bruh. Ludicrous, bruh. It fucking passes the bulletproof meter with stride, and I give it an A. The message of the day, man, is like the whole episode, self-reflection. The message of the day is to always really self-evaluate and self-reflect, because you could tell who's doing the knowledge and who ain't in their life, bro. You could just tell, like, this motherfucker's an idiot. He was the same motherfucker like 5 years ago. So why am I even talking to this dipshit? You know what I mean? And that's on you. Ain't nobody gonna do the work. You have to do the work for you. This is the God's Hour.
Max was the turnout of my lifestyle. Smoking green, blowing white clouds to build the blue skies. Conversating with the gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Gods by my wildflower to let them know that it's the God's hour. This love's the never-ending saga. Walk through the sands of times like Gara. On the other side of that gad is karma. You wet Prada, the devil like inside your box now.
While the angels fly over my headstone.